and Bono's wife sat next to me, and I think she could probably tell that I was like the odd kid out, and she was super nice to me, just engaging or whatever. But this is the funny part though, is that Jay wanted Guinness he was feeling good. He was like, "Oh, get Guinness for the table." And I'm not sure how it works in Ireland, maybe, but like they don't serve it everywhere. It's not just like everywhere got Guinness. It's like for whatever it was, like this place didn't have Guinness. And so, all right, cool. And Bono calls the whoever over. Cool. 5 minutes later, they walk in. They send them to the pub across the street to go get them. And so they come in and I saw it, and the true story.
That's right.
Listen, true story. So Beyonce absolutely body a fucking Guinness like a champ. like
things I was not expecting to hear today.
Yeah. True story.
Well, this is like your boys like get in the car. Yeah. And like no matter what you think of U2 or Bono is whatever the fuck, it's still fucking U2 and it's still Bono. And like if you're not a fucking idiot, you realize the magnitude. I saw
U2 at the Old Boston Garden in 1993 on St. Patrick's Day.
So you already fucking like it's just.
I've seen U2.
He's one of the most
8 times.
You're sitting with like 4 of the top 10 famous people in the world.
It was crazy.
you know what I mean? Like
and listen, and I've been
you know what I mean? Like
and I listen. Anybody that's kind of been in my world has sat at some good tables. You know what I mean? But that's the one that always stands out to me. Like, oh, that was cool.
So to flip it now the whole other way. Yeah. All right. So that's like the creme of the crop.
Yeah.
Now let's go back to like the Launchpad.
Yeah.
So you get to play your own. So now you're moving from you're already back at like 10 to midnight. Like that's the era like I remember like super heavy.
Yep.
And that was when you started having like local producers come in.
Yeah.
And
Static did my intros. Static was probably 16, 17 at the time.
I'm trying to think who the other. I did 2 of them, but one was Jay Hunt.
Jay Hunt for sure.
And you would bring in like what you would do is you would like
Well, hold on. I can't take credit for that. I know where you're going with this. So the Launchpad Cypher. That's what you're talking about.
Yep.
Now, I can't take credit for this. So around 2007, it was starting to be a lot for me to take on, to put the energy into the Launchpad that I had in the past. I had taken on music director role at the station overall. I had my 7 to midnight show. I was doing clubs. I just started a family. I had my first daughter. Actually, both my daughters were born at the time. So I had a 2-year-old and a newborn. And so I found this kid, and if you ask me like where I found him, I don't know. I'm going to say I saw him at the Middle East hosting, or I heard him on the radio or whatever it is, but I met this kid on. And I was like, dude, you're fucking incredible. Like I just liked his energy, and I knew that he knew what was happening in the local scene. I wasn't I had worked with Dre Robinson. That's a whole other thing. Like, I'd worked with Dre and put together his project where he had, I was able to get him Remy Ma and Mobb Deep and
so you were responsible for that.
Yeah, I mean, so me and my man Marcus and shout out to Joey and Dre. We worked on that whole project, and again, another situation.
Well, this is before Boston rappers were getting like national acts on their albums.
Well, no, I mean, I think Clinton was doing. I mean, Clinton was getting some people together.
It was still like spotty. It wasn't like it was a big deal. Like, oh shit, he got Mobb Deep. How the fuck he got Mobb Deep?
Well, we did Get Right. Well, because what happened was Mobb Deep was coming to town. They were doing my radio show. I was like, hey. What we did was I said, let's do the interview at Blue Jay Studios. That's the studio we were recording out of. And they were like, all right, cool. And then Dre was already there. We had the beat. It was all a setup. I was like, but they loved it. They were like, nah, this shit is dope. So they jumped on it. And then I was able to get Papoose on there. And Remy Ma was on there. Not together, which is crazy. Anyway, so we put the project together. So that's all part of it. Fast forward to On and On again. But I knew On and On, like I knew what was going on in the scene. He was living it. I wasn't living that anymore. Like I had moved on. Like I was doing the more commercial clubs. I was doing stuff up in New Hampshire. I was doing Aria. I wasn't doing the Middle East shit anymore.